Hello everybody, and I have multiple cameras running here, so this is probably going to look kind of strange for maybe everybody, depending on where you are tuning in. Thank you for being here and taking a look. I wanted to share some things on the marketing plan and how to do that because it's confusing or can easily be confusing. And of course, this is what I love. This is what probably is my superpower. I love doing this so much I could stay up all night putting together this part of the plan, in particular the objectives, strategies, and tactics, because that's where we put the real meat together and get this all running. So instead of referring you to a couple other videos on YouTube, I just decided to do a new one, and some of you will be getting this in your email. So want to just see if I might have a few tools that make it a little bit easier for you to do this. So let's start talking about this, and you will get the document as well. At least those of you in my Facebook group membership. So the first thing is to think about your marketing plan, and let's keep it simple. I mean, it sounds simple. It's where we get goofed up when we dig into the details. So the first question that we always want to ask is, where are we now? And that's the work that we have been doing. It's also called the situation analysis. In this document, I called it the background. This is basically looking at what we're doing, what's working, what's not, really assessing the situation. So just like if you go to a doctor, they start asking questions and they want to know what are the symptoms, what's going on, before they can obviously make a diagnosis and make recommendations. Well, apply that to your business, and the concept is basically the same. And the first question then is, where are we now? That doesn't sound too complicated, does it? Then second, where do we want to go? That's our objectives. Third question is, how will we get there? That's our strategies. And the fourth, what are we going to do? So that's what are we going to do to make all that happen? Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? And as anyone can, I can make things complicated. I'm trying to make them a little more simple. So let's talk a little bit here, as I have called it the background or the situation analysis. So that's all the work that we've done to this point on segmentation variables, target market, your ideal customer, what's going on in your secret formula, where do you need to focus some attention, what kind of information do you have about the clients or customers and their needs, and where do you have some gaps. So all of that is the work that you have done. And then once you have that put together, we did the SWOT, or we did that a couple different times to really look at what are some strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and add to that as you keep digging and working through the process. So when we get to objectives, the thing that you keep in mind here is this is the overall goal that you want to accomplish in your business. Typically, it's going to have to do with revenue or percentage increase in revenue, profitability, profit margins, maybe something like that. So in this document that some of you will have, take a look at the checklist and make your objective, write it down, and then go through the checklist and see, now, is it in expected results? Have you said, this is what we want to accomplish this year? This is the result we want to achieve. Also, is it specific? You want to be specific. And is there a time associated with this? And do you have a way to measure your success or accomplishment of that? And then does it support your higher purpose and objectives of your business? So are you being consistent with your vision, mission, and values as well? So take a look at the checklist. And as an example, I gave one here where I said we want to achieve 1.5 million in sales within 1 year, this year, on splicing kits within the semiconductor market, maintaining profits at a minimum of 35% of sales. So you can see there's a specific dollar amount to accomplish. There's a time frame this year. There is some measurement, a minimum of 35% of sales. You don't have to use that. Come up with your own. Being able to achieve 1.5 million would be a metric that could be measured in itself. So look at your objectives, and you might have, as I usually say, 3 to 5. Maybe you have one key objective. That's okay. Whatever makes sense for your business and your operation. Second thing that we start working on then is we have our objective and we have different strategies that we're going to put into place. Now, we talked about the 4 in the matrix: market penetration, product development, market development, and diversification. And I kind of focused probably more on market penetration, which is basically sell more in your current target market. And keeping in mind that your target market consists of a number of potential clients. And let's say that there's 1,000 of them and you have 10 or you have 20. Let's just say you have 20. So if you've got 20 clients, what more do they need from you that you can help them with, how you can serve them, that you can help improve their business performance? Most of the time, our clients don't know all the capabilities that we offer and can use to help them. So it's great to keep talking to them. The other thing is, let's say out of that 1,000, you have 20. Well, that leaves a whole lot more that you can pursue that have similar needs, similar descriptions, similar businesses, similar issues, all those things, similar pains to who you're already selling to. So you basically know what their issues are and how you need to talk to them because you've been doing that to the current clients that you have. So take a look at doing more with your current clients. Where else do they need your help? What other services or products, if you've got products or productized your services, what else can you offer them? And who else is like them that then you could start talking to as well. Key thing in this, you probably already figured out, is to have good information. So you might need to do some research and start interviewing people. You might, I would say, as one of your things when you get down to your tactical level, is probably to interview your current customers and find out what other issues they have that maybe you haven't uncovered or they haven't talked to you about, and could be things that you could help them with. So after the objective, the strategy is a broad course of action to be taken to accomplish your objectives. Usually it's a statement of the general course of action. And like I said, we're talking about, in this example, market development as a strategy of doing more with your current market. When you put this together, there's a checklist in your document that says, do the strategies directly support the objective? And do the strategies complement each other without conflict? So you want to have strategies that work together. You don't want to have two strategies that can't be done at the same time, because then you've got conflict. And then, are these strategies feasible and practical and do you have practical tactics for each strategy? So keeping in mind too, these strategies, you want to be able to accomplish them yourself or with your team. So keep that in mind too. They have to be achievable. And a good question to ask when you're putting together your strategies and tactics is why, especially for your strategy. And if you have a strategy laid out and you go, why are we doing this? It has to go back to increasing the revenue to X number in this current year. So just reiterate to yourself that you are coming up with a strategy that goes back to accomplishing that objective. The next point is the tactics, and I put together just a little matrix that you can see. I guess on one of these it's probably backwards. Oh, that's right, you can't see on the background. So think about your tactical pieces. So again, objective, grow the business X%. Strategy, we're going to do it by focusing on the current market with the current products and services we have. Now we're going to get down to how do we accomplish that strategy that we just outlined. So those questions in the matrix are what, who, when, and how much. So what needs to be done? All right, you can brainstorm a bunch of ideas there. Who is going to do it? You got to have somebody that can do that work. When is it going to be done? Put your deadline. And how much will it cost? So when you're looking at your tactics, again, this is an individual action that's going to be taken to carry out the strategy. And again, it's a building process. If you went top down, it's objective, strategy, tactic. If you go from the bottom up, it's like all these tactics that support the strategy on all those strategies that support the objective. So if you think about it in a almost like going up or down a ladder, think about that maybe as a visual that you can use. So when you look at your tactics, think again of the what, who, when, how much, or whatever order you want to put that in. So checklist, a couple things to think about here is, do the strategies clearly support, the tactics clearly support the strategies? Yes or no? And can the tactics be carried out by the existing team within the time frame that you're hoping to accomplish, or your plan is set to accomplish it. Think about, again, your strategy is the what you're going to do. The tactic is the how. So a lot of times you will have a lot more tactics than you have strategies. Just flipping here to look at some of my notes again, and there is an example for you. So let's say your strategy is do more business with your current clients, or within that target market of people that have the same description and parameters as your current clients or customers, and now you're going to add to that. So let's say, okay, do more business with them. What are some tactical things? Well, one thing would be to find out who is buying from you now and what are they buying. So you identify maybe your top 10 customers or clients, or maybe it's your top 20. Pull up your QuickBooks, your records, your CRM, whatever you're using, and look at who are your top producers, top buyers, and then start digging in. What is it that they've been buying from you? And then start identifying what else do they need. So you probably are going to do some kind of a survey or put together some questions, and you're going to interview these people, and you're going to talk to them, and you're going to find out how they're doing, what other issues they have, and in particular you want to ask some questions that direct them to things that you can solve for them. And as you're doing this, think about your existing products and services, and do they just need some enhancement? Or if you enhance them or made some minor changes, do they then open up a better opportunity to those customers that you haven't attracted yet? And there can be a lot more things. So one of the things too is, if you're going to identify your top customers, use your CRM or whatever you're doing, develop a profile so that you know exactly who they are and what they've been buying, as I pretty much have said. And then as you're going through all this, think about, what else do I offer that would be helpful to them? And we want to be careful in how we're doing all this, that we're not just trying to sell, and shove things down people's throat. And I know you don't think that way and don't operate that way. I just want to make sure that that's not what we're doing. We want to really look at understanding those clients of ours and what other problems do they have where we can be of service, where we can help, where we can change the outcome for them. So keep that in mind. Also, if there are some other people in this organization, because sometimes we're selling to big companies, sometimes we're selling to small companies, sometimes we have one decision maker, do your best to find out who else might be involved in that decision process, so you get them involved and can talk to them or engage them. So that's pretty much it. Keep in mind, again, objective, be real clear, and usually it's revenue. There can be other objectives, that's fine. And keep in mind then what strategies are going to accomplish that objective. And then the next level down is, what are the specific tactics, the real detailed actions that you need to do. And like I said, I love doing this. This to me is like playing. This is fun. I could stay up all night working on this, and in fact, sometimes I almost do. And this is how I think about growing businesses, because this is what I've done for years and years and years. So if this starts to get jumbled up, let me know, because I want you to be able to take it one step at a time and get one piece together and keep building on that, and take what I've given you that makes sense, that you can use, ignore the rest, just start somewhere and do what you can. Let me know if you need help. I hope we can work on this our next time together. That's what I would love to do, is see if you have some ideas. So when you're working on your ideas in between times, just write them down. Crazy, random, who cares? And we will figure out how to organize them and how to put them in the right sequence, or under the right, if it's tactical things, under the strategy, so it all works together. It really just kind of flows, and hopefully will come together for you. And I would love for us to sit down and dig in on that next time we get together. So thanks much. Let me know if you need help. Thanks. Bye-bye.